Hi guys, it's Kylan from the Silhouette Board. I believe last week or the week before I did a really quick video on using the offset option with shapes, creating borders. So tonight I wanted to talk about using the offset option with fonts. There's some actually really cool things you can do, so let's just get started. Right here's a summary of some things that I'm going to run through. It is going to be quick, so feel free to pause, rewind, rewatch, repeat if necessary. First thing that we want to do, we're going to work with these two fonts, the thicker fonts first, to create a 3D look. First you highlight, go over to your floating, what is this, floating toolbar, edit toolbar. Go to your, open your offset. It's going to have offset and internal. So think of this as an external, internal offset. And we want to do external, which is outside of our words. And it brings us, it automatically generates 0.125 in an offset. There's three ways that you can adjust this. You can use your slider bar back and forth. You can use your arrow up and down, or you can totally erase this number in here and put your own number. And I would do that, but I'm going to lose my work if I do that. So again, you can use your slider, your arrows, or delete the number and use your own in there, which is we're going to have to do when we get down to thin fonts. But for now, we've got this. We've got our distance. We're just going to go ahead and keep that. Our corners, make sure you keep an eye on your corners. A lot of times it will default to your rounded corners. So the outside, most outer side may be rounded and your inside corner very sharp. So it's a good thing to keep an eye on. And we're going to go ahead and click apply. And that has created our, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. That has created our offset. What I'm going to do though is now I want to pull out my inside font. So the easiest way is to grab the line and just pull. Now it doesn't really look like too much, but these are separate pieces, so we're going to go ahead and group. Whoops, that was not supposed to happen. We're going to go ahead and group. And let's get rid of that. And we're going to go to our fill panel. Instead of fill bucket, it's now a fill panel. We're going to make it black. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Delete. This was our original text that we created. I'm going to go ahead and color that in. I'm not going to worry too much about the lines right now, but what I have just done, all I have to do, you don't even have to be really close to each other, is highlight this. You can use this panel. You want to center the two both vertically and horizontally. And what this is going to do is it just put the box around the word. Now from here, you can go ahead and click on the word. Using your arrow keys, you can slightly change it to give it kind of a shadow look, left, right, up, down, any way you want. And so that's kind of cool. It really is a neat feature. So that's how we're going to handle that section. Now how to use that same process but with a thicker font that needs welded. Let's pull this one out. And if you hear noise, that would be my husband and or my daughter or my dog, so I apologize that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and highlight again. We're going to go over to the floating panels and look for our offset. Offset, external. Oh, actually, I messed up. Cancel. The first thing we want to do is weld it. Now, in this weld, you can notice that that is not included, the dot. We're just going to leave that for now. So go ahead and re-highlight, but make sure your circle is also within your highlight. Offset, and you can leave it like that, or we're going to take it down. Let's see what happens if I take it up. Yep, we're going to take it up. We're going to go really off kilter here. And we have sharp corners here, but rounded corners. So I'm going to go ahead and make my outermost edge sharp corners. Apply. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of that just to clean it up. Grab your inside font. Now what you can see happened was it didn't grab the I, the dot part. I can tell you when I do this, sometimes it does it right. If I group first, sometimes it doesn't. So I've just gotten into the habit of just not even doing my grouping until afterwards. So, whoops. And it does not want to be nice to me. Pull it to the side. We're going to go ahead and pull our top of the eye. And we're going to color it in. And for whatever reason, my new favorite color seems to be this black and fuchsia. So that's what we're going to go with. I want to make sure I get that. It is welded. And voila. You can go ahead and put it back on there. Now, without the dot being grouped, you have the ability of moving that around by just clicking on it, kind of placing it where you like. So to make sure that that now is grouped, I'm just going to pull the black, group it, and I can use my arrow keys, or I can use my align tool here to get it all centered, but sometimes I like to just be wonky and make it look weird. So that's how we're going to handle that Ellie for now. And again, just like this Ellie, you can move up, down, left, I almost went right, left and right. I'm going to group it. Now, the one that everybody seems to need help with, and for the longest time I would scream, actually I'd almost be in tears at times, trying to cut a really pretty font, but it was so thin, it would always get caught, eaten up, just turned into a mess. So this is where your offset is going to be a huge help, your external. Go ahead, highlight. This also, well, why are we not? This also needs welded. So we're going to go ahead and weld. And you can see it's just like our last Ellie. We are going to leave that as is, ungrouped at this point. Go to your offset, your external, and it's way too big. When you are doing a thin font to cut in vinyl, you're going to use a variation of, you're going to manually put in this number of 0.10 to I'm sorry, did I say that right? 0.010 to 0.019. And anywhere within that range is the perfect thickness that it will cut and still look very delicate. So remember those numbers. It's 0.010 to 0.019. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this number in here, 0.01, we'll do 9. And I don't know if this is a fluke or a reason or what's going on, but if I click the apply at this point, it doesn't seem to work. So I have found by hitting enter, it shrinks it. And so for the thin fonts, like I said, what I have found is at this point, I use the enter, not the apply. We're going to go ahead and zoom in on this, and you can see that this piece right here is our original piece, and this one is the slightly larger one. And let's zoom back out. Grab your inside. Grab the inside of this eye. Put that down here. Go ahead and group it. And color it in, shade it, do with it whatever you want. At that thickness, you should be ready to cut that in vinyl and not have too many issues. If you find that you do continue to have issues, just bump up your number ever so slightly. I got all sorts of messes going on here. So this is our thin font. This is a, whoops, I didn't group that, did I? Row. This one I did though. So there is our 3 different ways that we can do a block stocky font using our external offset, a cursive blocky type font, and then a really thin cursive font that we need to make wider in order to cut. So over here is a brief summary. Reading over it, it may or may not make sense. I don't know. So watch the video, and as usual, if you have questions, make sure you tag me in a post or send me a private message and I can get with you and hopefully get you not so frustrated with your fonts. Talk to you guys later. Bye.